Good afternoon, Coolest Coast. It's time for Coffee with Kristin and Tina. Good afternoon, everyone. Happy Friday. Welcome to this episode of Coffee with Kristin and Tina. We're your hosts. This is Kristin Odell. I'm Tina Prigge. So happy to see you.
Hi, good to see you.
How's your Friday going?
Good, good. One of the sneaky things that's kind of new-ish for me, maybe since like right at the end of school year, is that every Friday I meet girlfriends for coffee.
Oh, how is that?
It's amazing. We just hook up and who's ever sorry for all the jostling here, folks. We had a little bit of technical difficulties today.
We had to stay tuned for a minute. That's why we've been joining you a little bit behind schedule.
So there's just something about meeting. We meet at like 8:15 or 8:30, grab a cup of coffee, and then everybody goes off on their day and, gets to work. But there's something about starting, a Friday that way that's just, first of all, really special. And just, it feels like a treat.
And so there's no agenda. It is literally just connecting to connect, right?
Yeah. Just hanging out. What's going on? Whoever makes it, makes it. If somebody can't make it for that week, then we're like, no problem. There you go. Sometimes we do coffee delivery for that person, if they can't make it, but they, are in the office or what. It's really cool.
There is real value in connecting, I think, right? Just, peer support connection is important. Connecting with friends is important.
And it's just fun. There's like a vibe to it that just like sets the stage for the rest of the day. So I've had a very productive morning since then.
So it fueled you. It fueled up your day.
Yeah. I mean, it just gives you energy, like it gives you life, right?
Yeah. And I think especially in this holiday season, there's just something, I don't know, there's like some kind of magic or energy in the air that it makes it so satisfying to connect with other people.
Absolutely. How about you? How was your morning?
Great. I was kind of doing something similar. It was an online Zoom, and it's a peer support connection between other amputees. And so there's just real value in being able to share our stories, to connect, to find out how others are dealing, adapting, right? Like to know you're not alone in the world is huge.
So in my community service have known peer support in the lens of like recovery, like a peer support specialist in recovery. I know there's peer support specialists for like mental health, but I didn't have any idea that there were like peer support people for other things.
I know. I didn't either. And I'm not sure I would have appreciated it without being aware that there was peer support for recovery, for example. So it
Right.
gave me an idea that, okay, it is others going through similar challenges, right? Helping to lift each other up. And it's incredible. Like the first time, I've been doing it now for a couple of months. The first time I cried, right? Like I'm like, oh my gosh, you understand like what this is like. You get me, right? There's just so much value to that.
Yeah, there's like it's like your new people. Like you said, they can walk alongside of you or they've been there, they can give you advice and support you and just like maybe normalize what you're doing.
Right, right. And just to know that you're not alone, like dealing with those things. Like we got together the other day and I showed you a video. I've got a peer support mentor. So that's somebody in Wisconsin that they paired me with who has a very similar situation, lower limb loss and upper limb loss. Now, he's had this experience much longer, but has really adapted and embraced life, been able to go back out in this world. And I showed you how he was like deadlifting just like you do, right? And it's just like a little extra, "You've got this," right? Like he'll send a message like, "How's it going today?" "What are you dealing with?" "You got this." And that means so much.
Well, and I think, for people that don't understand, I've been blessed to be close enough to, like you grieve the loss of limbs. Like there's a distinct grieving process and thing that happens. And for a while, you probably thought, I'm never going to be able to do anything again. Right. And so he's showing you what's possible.
Yeah, and there's so much value to that, right? To know, "Oh, this like right now, this isn't the end of my story.
Right.
Today is not the end of my story. There is more to explore. There's more like, even finding out about those track chairs that we used, for example, at Peninsula State Park or at Point Beach, right? There's more to be achieved."
Right. And there's more you can do. And there's just, more muscle to build and just all those things. It's just really, really cool. I love for you that there's such a network and a support system out there. And I mean, we all need this. I do coaching with executives every day that, a lot of them say like, oh, I wish I was home more. You can decide that, right? Like, let's talk about what that looks like. And, so it's just being able to imagine what things can look like down the road and how they can be different and just having that person help get you there.
Absolutely. Well, like we got together with the event planners and participants for the Women's Summit in 2026. And it's kind of that same conversation, right? Like women empowering other women by sharing our stories, by talking about some of the things from the front lines of womanhood that we don't otherwise talk about or necessarily get to hear about, or it's not like, top of social media or anything.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, on that topic, I think you might have a picture
Ooh,
today.
let's see. Yes, yes, yes.
Um, yes, all the invites are out for the Women's Summit. Look at this crew. So, just to run through this, so there's lots of familiar faces here if you're in the greater Manitowoc community, but in the back left is Liz Workin, Dr. Liz Workin. She owns Juniper PT. Then there's me in the middle. And then on the right is Gina Armstrong, and she owns Balance on Buffalo here in Manitowoc. And then in the front, all the way to the left, is Carrie Carbon, and she's a nutritionist and an instructor at the Y. Lori Crawford is there. She has Lori Crawford Consulting and Coaching. And then Becky Richards owns Summit Clinical Services right in downtown Manitowoc. And then there's the beautiful Tina Prigge. This is our kind of speaker lineup and planning committee for this year.
And the location, what we're about to eat, gives a little indication of some food options that are going to be available at the summit this year.
That's right. Yeah, we're switching things up a little bit. We've got a new caterer this year and some new things, which I'm just, after we've done it a couple of years now, so I think it's really fun to kind of change it up a little bit. And, one of kind of the hot button topics that we've just landed on this year is perimenopause and menopause and just all the things that go with it. And I talked to somebody at the gym this morning. Her and her daughter are coming. They are returning friends. They've been with us other years. And she has another daughter that's like in her 30s. And I'm like, this is a great year for her. She's like a decade before everything we're going to be talking about. And like, how good would it be to just have all this information in your arsenal before you get there?
Yeah, absolutely. It's just so valuable to share experiences. No two experiences are ever going to be the same, but the
Right.
more knowledge you have, the more information you have, the better equipped you are when your changes in life happen.
Right. And so I mean, it's called like WTF, like all the things nobody told us because, it wasn't like a thing to talk about this. And so we're talking about it.
Somebody was even saying, like, they asked their doctor about it, and their doctor just said, "Go home and ask your mom." Like, that's not fair to put that on your mom to explain everything to you.
Not only that, but like you're talking about asking a generation that historically didn't talk about it and probably didn't want to talk about it. So like it's like sending you to the wolves again. Like why would you go of all the things, right? And I just even just in planning and talking with this group, I think my mind's already expanded about it. I've already learned different things. Even the other night we were kind of jokingly like swapping, like, well, what supplements do you take? Well, what do you take? Oh, you take this, just having the conversation is so cool. I think the other thing this year that we're doing differently is we've been told in the past we want more time to socialize at the tables and connect with the women that we're sitting with. And so we've been very intentional about making sure there's time for Q&A and making sure there's time at the tables to have those conversations. So I think that's going to be really special.
So this is, I think, the 4th year, that we're holding it, the 4th year that I'm involved in some way, and I think that is my favorite takeaway. Not only is, the presentations and the knowledge I keep with me as well, but it is those connections, and, like, last year seeing, there are some women that I've only seen at this event, right? But to see them again was like seeing an old friend, and it was just so happy to make that connection.
Right. And I mean, we limit ticket sales for this. So, tickets are limited. I think 70 is the number. So, with us as presenters, we don't have more than 80 people there. And it's a big group, but it also feels very intimate. And I think it's just a really special day. The other thing about this is in all the years we've done this, we've always had a component where we kind of try to leave one space and shift into another space. And we've done yoga. We did some incredible breath work with Teresa Falvey Hunt last year. And this year, Gina Armstrong is coming in and she's going to be doing a sound bath. And I just think about all those women like laying on the floor, all cuddled up in their blankets, just having that experience.
Yeah, I love it. You've done a sound bath before, right?
I have.
Yeah,
Yes.
me
Yep.
too.
There's just something it's I will just say I am not good at relaxing. And there is something just pretty special about saying, like, I'm gonna take this hour and I'm gonna set it aside. I think actually it was an hour and a half when I went and did it. And just experience the music and the vibration and just kind of being the achievement is relaxation.
Yeah, and it's incredible. I had a similar feeling, right? Doing it when you commit to that hour, you know you're in a safe space, right? A dog's not gonna jump up on you, a cat's not, a kid's not gonna be like, "Mom, I need, where's my," right? It's an hour totally to yourself with no other obligations, no phone demanding your attention. Just so much can happen that's beautiful in that hour.
Absolutely, without doubt. Even maybe just sleeping for an hour, right? That's okay too.
That is okay too, yeah. So you mentioned tickets. Kristen, if any viewers wanna participate, how do they?
Right. So I will actually drop this in the comments today, but there's an event on Facebook. You can find the link to tickets from the event. You can also go right to Eventbrite, search Women's Summit. It's March 7th if you're looking for the date. But I will drop it in the comments today also so you can find it and you can buy your ticket right
And
now.
I think there's, like, an advantage to buying the ticket now, right? There's, like, an early bird pricing that
There
changes, is it
is.
January
So,
1st?
yeah, between now and the end of December, there is early bird pricing. I think it's $10 off. So, I'll also mention I posted about this today on my business page and personal page, but this can make a great gift. So if you're looking for something, mother, daughter, niece, friends, this can make a good Christmas gift if you're looking for something experience wise. Lunch and breakfast are included and all the beverages and all the experiences, so it's really a great deal for the day.
Yeah, the gift of experience is really valuable and memorable. People don't seem to not need more stuff necessarily,
Mhm.
right?
Right, right. So do
Unless unless that stuff is like delicious Christmas treats, Kristen.
I know.
Then we need more, right?
I cannot take credit for these at all. Our kiddos were home last night. Doug and I had a holiday get together with some of his colleagues, and so I kinda set up some projects for the girls. One of them was gingerbread houses, and the other one was making these, and they did such a good job, and they're so yummy.
They're so pretty too.
I know, aren't they?
Yeah.
And look at my rickety old pan.
You know what? I think there's something awesome about a pan like that because it shows it is used, right? Like,
That's
it's this
right.
well-loved tool.
Right. You were making treats with your brother the last time we had the show.
Yeah, he did such a good job. Like, for 2 solid days, he's like, "I'm not giving up until we're done." We made so many batches of peanut butter balls and angel food. He also made fudge. He even went so far as to make some molasses cookies.
I love it. I think it's so awesome. So first of all, I need to say he, like, just at glance, could be Jason's brother or your brother. Have you ever thought that?
Awesome. I think Jason perfectly fits in our family. Yeah, it's so true.
It totally like they look like they could be family members, blood family members, obviously.
But they're not. They're definitely
But
not.
they're not. Yeah, I just like the other thing is, so we on the show last time were debating about if the barometric pressure was right for angel food, right?
Right. So, and there is something about the barometric pressure because you can see, I took this picture. Um, it did not rise like it sometimes does. And by
Yes.
the way, your mom confirms that old pans are the best.
She's got some goodies. She's got some real good ones at home.
Now, I did notice though too, so we had, small helpers, young helpers in the kitchen. I can see there's a little bit of baking soda not fully blended in, and so
Ah,
I also suspect that that would affect how it rose, but not enough that it would still have the squishy.
yes. Now some of these look like they've got some pockets of air in them that they were probably, pretty good. The one I'm looking at kind of on the left there in the middle, that one looks like it'd be pretty crunchy.
They did turn out pretty well, and we did a second batch, and that seemed to rise better, and
Did it?
I did insist, like, all of that baking soda has to be thoroughly mixed in, right?
Gotta stir.
But I thought, "Oh my gosh, Kristen, you and your mom were totally onto something, the fact that these didn't rise higher."
Yeah, I love it. I mean, it's very still edible. It usually still tastes wonderful. It just doesn't have that kind of melt in your mouth airiness that like a
Yeah.
really good batch has.
Yeah, that sort of angel food, right? The cloud
Yes.
quality of it. But I do have to say, my brother had a stroke of genius. So when we make the angel food in a pan, right, and then we chunk it up, there's always like little schnivlets, is what we call them, left, right? And they seem too valuable to not do something with, right? Like these little chunks of deliciousness. And so like in past years, we've just tried to like clump it into chocolate and like make like little clusters. But he said, Tina, what if we made a batch of peanut butter balls and instead of graham crackers, use
Oh,
the angel food schniflets? Oh my God, it was wonderful.
so good.
Yeah, it almost tasted like a
Yeah, or
Butterfinger
yeah,
candy
you
bar.
have toffee in the middle.
Yeah.
That sounds amazing.
So if you've ever wondered what to do with those remnants, it really
See,
worked
my
out well.
mom dumps all her little schnibblies in whatever chocolate is left at the end and kind of stirs them in and then just scoops it out and spoons it and lets it just dry.
Yep.
Which, that's equally delicious in its own way. But yeah, oh my goodness, so good.
Nicole said, the little bits of angel food are the best.
They are just so yummy. It's just, those holiday things like eating the little roller with the pretzel. Like there's nothing fancy about them. It's not complicated. It's not dependent on the weather, but they're very satisfying.
My brother and I always joke when we were little, I was maybe 5, he was like 3.5. We lived in a house and there was an attic, like a walk-in attic on the second floor. And one day while we were playing, we went in the attic and lo and behold, there were these pans of peanut butter balls. So my mom must have made them and she had them in there to keep them cool, right? So my brother and I were like, oh, right, a gift from the gods. Oh, by the way, Nicole said they are also good over ice
Mm,
cream.
that's a good idea too.
Great idea. But so we walked in, right? We're like, look at all of these. If we each eat one and then just slightly rearrange, no one will ever know. We're 5 and 3.5 at the time, right? So then, like the next day, we're like, let's do it again. And so we go in there and we each eat another one, shift it around. I don't know how many days we did this, but one day we went in there to do that and we realized there were like 6 left on the pan. Like, there were not enough to shift around and keep it a secret. We discovered my dad had also found this stash, and he was doing the same thing.
Did your mom find a new stash after that year?
Well, what she found out is when she went to get them, when company arrived, there were not enough to offer. And then my parents moved, so I don't know if that was the impetus, but
Ah, there you go. She's like, "That's it. I've had it. We need a new house to store the peanut butter balls in."
exactly.
Where was the peanut butter ball storage location at the new house?
I never knew.
The new old house?
I never
You never
knew.
knew.
Yeah, it was never so available to us.
It's funny you say that because my mom, her front closet in her house, which is like a coat closet, was always very chilly, and she would store the frosted cookies and angel food and, whatever else, all the containers were always in that closet growing
Right.
up.
And did you find them? And did you
I
raid
mean, we
them?
would steal them occasionally, but I feel like, there's no lack of treats over the holidays. It's not like we're dying for treats. So, I don't we probably just had access to them. I don't think it was anything where we had to like sneak it, but there's just a distinct memory of seeing the containers in that closet.
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome. So, like, now with kids in the house, where do you keep your treats?
Well, right now, the ones I got made last night are in a container on the counter. It's fair game. I think Doug ate 6 of them before he went to bed last night. So I was like, I will probably be making another batch of these. Which, if there's one thing that feels tedious, it's unrolling Rolos.
Oh, is that what's in the middle of those? Those are
Yes.
Rolos? So
Yes.
there's a little caramel in there too?
Yes. Yes. And so some of them I'll make, with the M&Ms on because 'cause they're so pretty. But then some of them I'll do a whole pecan or a half, I guess. We'll put a pecan on them so it's more like a little turtle with the pretzel.
Oh, interesting.
So I'll probably do another batch of those. But yeah,
The red and green are so precious though, because it really has those Christmas
I
colors.
know it's just so festive.
So yeah, I think if I were the one unrolling the Rolos, I'd be like, here's one for the peanuts, here's one for me, one for the peanuts, for the
Right.
pretzels, one for me.
So fine, like, for those of you who have unrolled this Rolos for this project, you will understand what I'm saying. but it's like very fine, like aluminum foil, very fine foil. And so it's just like fumbly to get off and annoying.
Does it all come off in one, or does some of the foil stick behind and you have to
Both of those things happen. Both of those scenarios happen.
Mm.
So I didn't have to unwrap any of them last night because I didn't make them last night. But that's what little fingers are for, right?
That's what kids are for, right? Isn't that why we have them?
Yeah.
To help us out? You know, speaking of kids helping us out, Teak is our Christmas elf, and it was cool. He put up the Christmas tree and all the Christmas decorations yesterday.
I love it. And he's looks like he's got his Santa hat on, even though you can't see the red.
Yeah, and he was disappointed. He's like, "Mom, this Santa hat is too small." I'm like, "Well, go and get a different one," you know? So he went out last night to try to find one, and he could not find a Santa hat in this town that fits his big noggin.
Wow, he's got a big nugget then.
Mhm.
Maybe he should ask Santa for one.
I don't know if Santa could find one either.
I love that. You know, I got to see Jason this morning. I was at Jen's Java. He
That's
was
what he
there working.
said. That's what he said.
I know. So I got to say hi to him, in person, in public, which is always nice.
Did you think it was my brother at first?
No, I know Jason pretty well. I can tell them apart, thankfully.
Awesome. Yes, awesome. Me too, thankfully. Hey, you know, I was also really happy. A Christmas cactus I was gifted last year, and it bloomed just in time for us to be making all these Christmas candies and enjoy Thanksgiving.
It looks like do you have 2 different ones? Because I see a different color kind of in the background.
Yeah, the other one has just started. It had this one blossom, but now it's got a bunch as the red ones are on their way out.
That is amazing. It's beautiful.
I think it's happy where it is because I don't really have a green thumb, so
That's wonderful.
I have
Yeah,
no thumb.
1 thumb.
One thumb.
You have 1 thumb and it's not green. Uh, you know, I've heard that different types of those plants, like there can be an Easter cactus, there can be like there are some that naturally are meant to bloom at different times of the year, but you don't know the difference between them when you look at
Ah,
them.
right. Right. Interesting. Yeah, because this one I think blooms around Thanksgiving rather than Christmas itself.
Yes. Yeah. I had my haircut this week and there was a Christmas cactus outside my stylist office that she got as a gift a couple of years ago and it was so pretty. It was in full bloom.
Oh, that's awesome.
So must be
By
the
the,
week.
by the way, your haircut looks great.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Hey, and so tell me, speaking of Christmas, is this the Odell Christmas tree behind you?
It is. It's a tradition for us to go and cut the tree down. So last Saturday morning, it was supposed to snow. So we got up pretty early on Saturday morning and hit the road by like 8:30. We made a stop at Hartman's to get donuts. And then we headed up. We actually went to a new place in Denmark this year because normally we go up to like Sturgeon Bay area. But we just didn't want to risk being too far away with we didn't
The
know what the weather
weather.
was going to be like.
Mhm.
But yeah, we got beautiful Christmas tree and we got to walk around outside, which is just always good. And yeah, I'm gonna hold on to this tradition as long as I can.
Is everybody good with the tradition? Or is it like National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation? Are there complaints as you go? Or like
In full disclosure, I think at one point Doug was like, "You are ruining this." But once you get home and it warms up and you get lights on, like it's just different. And the kids, we have the Christmas tree that my parents had when I was growing up. That's an artificial tree, and it has all the little, you have to like put all the individual branches in around the pole. And so the girls also assembled that on Saturday, and then they are very fortunate. They get Christmas ornaments from us and from my mom and dad over the years. So all of just their ornaments go on that tree. And so they also did that one together on Saturday. So kind of by the time they got gone with that and it started coming together, and then Doug and I worked on the other one, like, it just all of a sudden it's like, oh, that nice soft light of the tree. And then everything was better.
yeah, yeah. You know, I started saying to Teek, "Look, it's already December 5th. Maybe we don't need a tree since you're waiting so long to put it up, right?" And I'm just so glad that it's up because there is something I don't know, it just warms your heart when you see those little soft lights.
Yeah, and I wanna be able to enjoy it throughout December, so we spent Friday cleaning up from hosting for Thanksgiving and having everybody here, and, that was just so special and such a blessing, and, we got a Packer win on Thanksgiving.
That was so fun, wasn't it?
I know, it was really fun. And so it felt good to get all that stuff kinda done. We got all of our fall decorations put away, and then, yeah, Saturday was just like, "Let's switch gears," and we can officially switch now.
So this is your Thanksgiving feast, right?
This is part of it. I didn't send you all of it, but so we did brunch. So we had hot turkey and ham and cheesy potatoes and stuffing.
And deviled eggs. I love deviled eggs.
Yes, and then we had, like, seven-layer salad and deviled eggs and fruit and chips and taco dip and rolls, and so, like, it was just a really fun combination of food, and, you could do and breakfast, like, egg bakes, I forgot. So you could do totally breakfasty food, you could do totally lunchy food, or you can, mix it up.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Food and family is such a perfect combination.
And
Oh,
football.
food, family, and football, the 3 Fs of Thanksgiving.
We've had a joke in our family for years, when a family would host for a Packer game, that, like, if the Packers lost while they hosted, like, you might get one more shot at it, and then if you have a bad record at your house, then you don't get to host anymore. So I'm very thankful we've got a very good Thanksgiving Day record. We're in
That's
the
awesome.
we're in the win category, yeah.
So you have the option to host again is what you're saying.
Yeah, yes. I'll be allowed to submit for hosting next year.
Nice, nice. Hey, speaking of, I mean, nothing, I suppose, but the weather. So you sent me this picture of the snowman, and then you sent me this picture, and I was just wondering, is something happening? Like, is there a difference between the two? I wanted to know, but
There is something happening. So Josie built this snowman on Saturday. Pretty sure it was Saturday or Sunday. And it was straight up and down. And then Monday, it started leaning. I took this picture on Monday. It kind of started like leaning over. And then if you put the other picture up,
oh, sure enough. Okay, now I see it.
it's leaning even like Doug said today. This defying all logic. Its head should have fallen off or something. I don't know. I can't describe what's happening. I don't know. Like, it's been cold. It's not been, like, warm enough for it to be melting. I don't know if it's, like, can the wind push a snowman over?
Oh,
Because the wind does come across the field
and it's
towards the
getting
lake.
quite strong.
But, like, isn't this I need to take another picture today. Like, I'm like, at some point, is the head just gonna, like, bend all the way over and not actually fall off?
Is it just gonna lay down? I feel like it's like resembling the exhaustion of, like, all of us, right? Just like, "I give
Yeah.
up."
And I'm falling. I know. It's so it's so funny. I mean, there's been jokes like, is it the drunk snowman? Is he tired? Does he need a long winter's nap? I don't even know. Is it how the sun shines at this time of the year? We've never had this experience before.
And the fact that you can document that it's just slowly going. When she engineered it, is there, like, a stick or something in between the balls holding them together?
Nope, no, she just like I mean, that is big. Josie probably comes up to my shoulders. I'm 5'7" for those of you who haven't seen me in person, right? So Josie's probably 5 foot-ish. The snowman is as big as her, if not a little bit taller. So this is also not a small snowman. And the balls got to be so big outside, Doug had to go out and like stack them for her to lift them up. And then she, did the things on them. So I don't know what's going to happen, but I promise I'll keep documenting and then we can revisit it. But it's
Yeah.
just so funny.
Yeah, that is funny. That is fascinating. Okay, what is this? Oh, Christmas decorations. I loved this picture, Kristen, when I saw this.
Thanks. So in the back right corner there is our playroom tree. That's my parents' very old, it's probably 35 years old Christmas tree. And then we got this Santa picture from Hobby Lobby. It's nothing fancy a couple of years ago. And I just like the minute you put that picture up, it's like, isn't that so great?
Yeah. And I love that in the picture you can see like the person that took it. Was it you that took the picture?
Yes.
Like your foot, right? You're on this comfy chaise, you've got the blanket, like you feel all cozy, seeing the fire in the background, the
Yep.
glimpse of the tree. It's all the good feels.
I know. I mean, this is to me, this is like once you get, this was Saturday night, like we were done with the trees and like, I was like, I am so done today. I can't wait to sit down. And it was just like,
The only thing that will make this better is if I knew you were eating like a peanut butter ball or something at that moment.
well, and I mean, full disclosure, like the top of the mantle isn't like decorated yet. We don't have our stuff out. Like there's still things that we are finishing here, but I could just sit and relax in there and it's just so lovely.
Kyla said, I was going to ask you yesterday if the snowman was looking for something on the ground.
This is it. By next week, we'll play caption this snowman.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, you know what? Share your comments now. Share your comments in the chat, like captioning that snowman picture. What is going on?
Yeah, and by the way, I'll even ante this up. I've got KLO umbrellas I need to get rid of. So if you're local and you give us a good comment, we'll pick a favorite and I'll get you a KLO umbrella.
I love it. I love it. Just in time for Christmas.
You never know when you're going to need an umbrella.
Kristin, 30 minutes have already passed. How is that possible?
Doing this at lunchtime is fun.
I know. I love this. On a Friday too.
Yeah.
It's good feels.
Awesome.
All right. Well, thanks for sharing this time with me. Viewers, thanks for sharing it with us. So good to see you all. Enjoy these days leading up to the holidays. Thanks for watching this episode of Coffee with Kristin and Tina. Kristin Odell. I'm Tina Prigge. We'll see y'all next time.
Bye, guys.